Hello, this is Joe Pryor, the virtual real estate team in Oklahoma, and this is the sixth video that I'm doing in the series. The seventh is coming up about what happens the last 30 days, but what I want to kind of talk about a little bit more is, follow-ups. All right, we have gone through all this process with you. We have a signed contract now. You've sent in your earnest money. It's official. Now what? And again, it depends on where the property is. If it's built out of the ground, we know we're going to have probably 6 months to do follow-ups with you. If it's under construction, it's ready in 60 days, things are absolutely a lot faster. And if it's finished, and that's hard to find these days, the finished home, but we do find them, then at that point, things really get very, very fast. So let's kind of talk about these. So the builders gives us updates. They're going to tell us, what stage it's in. Is the slab in? Is the framing up? Are they sheetrocking? Are they doing finish work? All of these kind of things are very, very important because it allows us to really hone in on that time when you're going to be closing the house. Now, we would love to be able to inform you every week about where things are, but we just can't do that. First of all, it doesn't change that rapidly. And number two, we have a lot of things under contract. And so we're going to do it in a periodic fashion to let you know what's going on. Now, especially early, you're not going to get as many updates. But as we get towards that last 30 days, especially, they are going to get a whole lot more shorter distance times between, because we're really getting into some important stuff. We want to make sure everything is ready and not rushed at the end. So, that's the way that we're going to do things. Now, we're going to email you when it's time for important tasks for you to do. And it's the same thing with the lender. They're going to do the same thing. Now, one of the things I talked about in a previous video, do not lock just because they're saying, well, I see this closing date on the contract and we need to lock your rate. No, because that's a movable target, as I said in the previous video. We don't want to have you extend the lock for money. And so consult with us because, again, things can change about that closing date. Now, we're going to make sure that previous to all of this, that you're going to talk to the insurance agent and get a really good quotation so you know exactly that you're protected. We have the rates locked in. The second thing, we're going to contact the property, or you're going to contact the property manager. We're going to connect you guys because you need to know that. That's really important about how they do business. I've worked with this one property manager for over 14 years. He's the best I've ever worked with in 32 years. And so it's very important that you talk to him so that he gives you the reality of owning a property in terms of what it's going to cost, how things are done in terms of procedure, minor repairs, warranty work, things of that nature. Once we get through everything that we do, that is your number one person. In fact, I think they're absolutely as important as us in terms of making the right decisions about properties, because they're going to be the person to take something that starts on paper and turns it into reality. So that's very, very important. Now, you're going to be very busy with your lender, and especially in the last 60 days. Now, you never want 90 days or more, mainly because you have to start over again with your paperwork. So a lot of your paperwork drill is going to come, especially in the last 60 days before closing. So you're going to be very, very busy with your lender, and we're there for you to hold your hand if you need it. Lenders that we have are going to be very, very good about taking care of you. They're very, very good about that. Again, I can't emphasize this enough. Do not lock your interest rate until you talk to us, because we're the ones with the boots on the ground. We know if we're really on to that target date. And understand this especially, and I probably didn't emphasize this enough, weather. Because the last things that happen on a home is the sod being put in or a fence being put in and landscaping. If it's, say, 5 inches of rain, for a couple of days, that stops everything. The ground has to dry up. So certain things can happen to delay these things. So we're going to make sure that you have the right amount of follow-ups, that the connections are all there. I mean, we're like a point guard in basketball. We got the lender over here, we got the property manager, we got the insurance person, we got the inspector that's going to inspect your house, the title company that's going to be doing all the paperwork and closing. And that way we have a situation that is going to be hopefully enjoyable to you. Because if it's not enjoyable, it's not going to be something you're going to want to repeat. And then if we don't deliver, And that's the most important thing. And we've been delivering for a long, long time. You're not going to want to come back and buy another property. And that's really what we want you to do. We want to build your wealth, and we want you to be happy, and we want this to be as seamless as possible. So now let's get into that last 30 days.